voice with a culture attack. Pop culture, films, and the world we see. Deleted scenes where the truth runs free. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Let's roll.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, human being American, and YouTube Ronin. I'd like to welcome you to tonight's episode of Unscripted. We control the vertical, we control the horizontal. I want to first off say hello to everyone currently following along on X. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. I want to say hello to a few people who have joined us here tonight in the live chat. FKHC 2005, sometimes known as Tim. Channel member JPRPH1. Jamie Lynn Simons is with us. Faithful Blue Wrench channel member, the Bird Woman of YouTube. Watch out for her channel, Fluff Chick Productions. It's Connie Clary. My co-host on the Mystery Movie Night podcast, Enigma Severus. Friend of the channel, D. Penzak. Our man from the future, Sashi. The tired midnight blogger himself, the voice of Northern Oklahoma, Curtis Selby. My co-host on Live from Sparkwood 21, and a host of Geeky Geezers, which you will be redirected to if you stay to the end of this broadcast, Aged Boomer. There is a cancer running through this country. I can't say when it began to metastasize, but it has. Now, I want to preface this by saying there is good and bad on both sides. And very sadly, this country has been divided. And unfortunately, tonight, I am going to have to go against both sides. Now, there are people in the mainstream media, in Hollywood, on social media, quote unquote social media, and I'm beginning to wonder if we should continue calling it that. There are people who get paid to divide us. We have a president in office who is a controversial figure. Have I always agreed with every single thing that he's said or done? No. But I had to consider the alternatives. Would I have preferred to see a Trump versus Biden election, which was what we were leading up to? Yes. Now, apparently, the secret DNC chair, George Clooney, citizen of Italy, decided that that was not to be the case. He wrote a letter, and the mainstream media got a hold of it, and then Biden was out, and Kamala Harris was in. And Hollywood kind of, as usual, once again, put in their 2 cents, and you had the whole white boys for Kamala, Marvel actors for Kamala, whatever. Now, you can't just switch candidates out in the middle of an election. Rebecca Romaine isn't going to like me saying this, but so what? You can send your daughter to try and kick my ass. I'm not going to be the pushover your husband is. Jerry O'Connell was right, people. There should have been a primary. At least. You want to put Kamala Harris out there as a candidate, you do it right. You don't do it because some Hollywood actor who doesn't even live in this country anymore, or at least doesn't most of the time anyway, you don't move on that word. You let the people decide. How a man like Joe Biden, who for 50 years never got more than 1% in a primary, during my entire lifetime, never more than 1% in a primary, all of a sudden is the most popular president of all time, gets the most votes, even more than Obama. You tell me how that works. I'm not going to come on here and say that somebody stuffed the ballot box, but maybe they did. But I'm sorry, Democrats, you switched out the candidate that maybe had a chance for one that didn't, because we don't know who she is. And we still don't know. You have to understand that you don't get elected in this country just because you're a woman, or because you're black, or because you feel it is your turn. You got to get our say so. You don't get to decide. We are the ones, we, the American people, who go to the ballot box. You are the ones who get to decide. I have voted for presidential candidates who have won and have lost. But you know what? You don't hear me whining about the losses. Now, I think I've been very clear with who I voted for in the last election and why. Why I am willing still to vote for one party over another, despite the fact that I look at it this way. All right, my dad used to always say, there's a difference between a conservative and a Republican, and I consider myself a conservative. I am a right wing guy because I have seen the behavior of those who claim to be on the left. Now, I'm not saying that everybody on the right is Mr. Clean either, because there has been some evidence of late saying that everybody on who claim to speak for me, they don't truly, but they claim to speak for me and claim to have my best interest in mind, who don't seem to really have that. They don't have my back in the way that they claim that they do. My point being, long story short, is that let's say, as an example, that Biden made it to a second term. Or, hey, what if Kamala Harris had gotten elected? And there were some far right types that decided that, they were going to go on social media and act like a nutcase and start threatening either President Biden and President Harris, openly threatening people and their supporters. Say there were multiple assassination attempts against them, I would be speaking out against that. Because the office of the president is not one man and it's not one woman, white, black, straight, gay, it doesn't matter. That is the president of the United States. And whether you love him or hate him, you don't get to kill him. Either party, either president, all through the years, it does not matter. You do not attempt to assassinate the president of the United States, regardless of party, regardless of whatever your beef might be. There was a time when if you even so much as joked about it, you could be put in jail. And I wish we would bring that back. Now, in this country, in the world, we are living in a world where anything you say, anything you do could go all the way around the world in a heartbeat. Now, you can do something with that. You can either do some good with that, or you can prove how much of a jerk you are. And I see it on my timelines on multiple platforms every day. People who have been led to believe that it's not only okay, but their absolute right to threaten the life of the president, his family, his cabinet, and his supporters. Now, there was a poll recently, and 30% of those polled, and this was basically like teenagers, college students, people in their early 20s, what have you. And 30% said that they believe that political violence was a tool that can be used to bring on change. 30%. I don't know about you folks, but that scares the hell out of me. That worries me. I work with people who are that age. I know what they're being told in their schools. Okay? I know what they're being told in school. I know what they're being told in college, because I ask these people and they come back and they tell me. This is being taught. That it is okay to murder people that you don't like, whether they be in some political office, whether they just be random people on the street. If you tell people, if you spend years, decades telling people that the current government is out to kill them, round them up, throw them in the back of trucks and take them to camps. People are going to kick down your door and drag your grandmother away or drag your kids away. If you tell people that sort of thing for long enough and you gin them up to the point that they start to believe it, are you surprised when they act in that fashion, with that violence? And none of this is true. If somebody is being dragged away out of their homes, if they're, gays or blacks who are being en masse slaughtered in the streets, tell me where, because I'm not seeing it. Not in the United States. I'm seeing it in other countries. Palestine, for one, that they love so much. Gays for Palestine. You want to tell them, or should I? You think you're going to be safer in Palestine or Iraq? Good luck, because you know what they do to gays there? They drop them off of buildings. They find the height. That's assuming they don't cut their heads off immediately. This is happening in other countries. That's not happening in America. But they think it is. They're being told that it is. You got mainstream media, you got Hollywood actors going on television and saying that, all of this Yahtzee crap is going on. Where? Who has been taken away to camps? All right, let's talk about this for a second, because this is something I've been wanting to talk about for a while. All right. Homosexuals and blacks being round up, put in the back of trucks, and taken away to camps. Okay, let's talk about this. Number one, how are you going to identify a homosexual? There's no scarlet letter. A gay person can be anybody. How are you going to identify them unless they frickin' tell you they're gay? All right? But let's say for a moment that there was a way that you could look at a person and tell. All right, so they're being rounded up, thrown into the back of trucks. Trucks, okay. Who owns the trucks? Who sold the trucks? Who bought the trucks? Who has the money to buy them? Where did they get it? What do they always say? Follow the money. Okay. Can't tell me that. Okay. But these phantom trucks filled with gays and blacks are being taken away to camps. Okay, where are the camps? CNN, MSNBC, where are the camps? Hey, Sonny Hosteen, where are these camps? Mark Ruffalo, where are these camps? You talk about them all the time. Where are they? If they were there, I would pick up a gun and go and liberate one of those camps right fucking now. But I can't. Why? They don't exist. It's not happening. The mainstream media, people on social media, Hollywood actors, these people are absolutely freaking convinced, or they're being paid to say what they've been saying. And based on what we have come to learn over the past few weeks, especially with the Southern Poverty Law Center, who are paying off people who actually are freaking racists to go out and spread hate. People who are being paid to try to rile us up, to get us to fight. We get killed. We kill each other. You know what? They sit up in their mansions behind their fucking gates, drinking champagne and watching the whole damn thing go down. You want to die for these people? I don't. And I have no intention of doing so. I'm not going to play the game. I'm not going to come on a show like this and say it is okay to murder the President of the United States, his family, his cabinet, and his supporters. It is not okay for groups of people to go out, find someone and beat the crap out of them. It's not okay. But there are those who have the microphone who are ginning people up. Hey, guess what? White people, all they do all day is come up with ways to make you miserable. Donald Trump, he's going to throw all the gay people into camps. You better skedaddle out of the country real quick, or do something to get rid of him first. We don't care what that is. Maybe it's time for you to turn that violence back on them. These people, the mainstream media, you got influencers on social media, you have Hollywood actors who have made it very clear what side they're on. These are people who are being paid to divide the country. How many of them actually believe it? I don't know. I don't know how many of them genuinely believe it. But as long as the cash is coming in, they don't care. Holtz, the congresswoman in Minnesota, goes on TV. I disagree with the governor. Less than a week later, she's dead, and the assassin is running around saying, the governor hired me to do it. You know, they just arrested a guy today for threatening Trump and Fetterman. Fetterman's a Democrat. It didn't used to be like this, and it doesn't have to be like this. We're not some third world fucking nation where, you know, they're whacking out their prime ministers and their presidents every 2 seconds. We don't do political coups. This is not us. And it will never be us because there are too many people with clear heads who understand that they are being played. Who understand that this is real life and not a movie. Okay? This isn't fake blood. Okay? It's not blank bullets. This is real life. This is the real thing. There are consequences to your actions. And I am telling you right now, regardless of what side of the political aisle you are on, you better damn well get that through your head. Because you got people on the streets right now and they are out for blood and they think they're going to get away with everything that they do because so far they have. They think they're going to be heroes. They think they're revolutionaries. All right. They think they're going. They think if they do get arrested, if they bother to find a cop who will continue to arrest people, that they're just going to get taken in front of a liberal judge, and that judge is going to pat them on the ass and send them on their way. Now, there have been 3 assassination attempts against Donald Trump. For the reasons that I have laid out here so far in this program. If you have enough people go on television and say that he's Hitler, and you better get him first before he gets you, then this is going to continue to happen. We have not seen the last attempt. I'm telling you right now. They're going to keep going until they get him. Now you get this situation that took place at the Washington Hilton. Now, the Washington Hilton is not exactly a safe place because, they took a shot at Gerald Ford there. They actually, John Hinckley actually shot 6 people, including President Reagan. So you're already walking into enemy territory just to go to the damn Washington Hilton. And they get this guy who was the teacher of the month out of California, because of course he's out of California, who packs up some weapons, gets on a train, and goes cross country, gets a room at the hotel. And then the night of the White House Correspondents' Dinner, goes downstairs, and what happens. People are being radicalized by the mainstream media, by social media, by Hollywood. Engineered. It's Videodrome for real. You got people literally being programmed like a VCR. They tried to tell us even then. I don't have an answer for it all. I'm a live and let live guy. Let me live my life, and I'll mind my own business. I don't want the world. I just want to keep the land I'm living on. Because my father literally worked himself to death to hang on to it. And if my fate is to do the same, then so be it. I have said before on this channel that I'm not going to start a fight, but I'll finish one. And if it comes to that, I'm going to bring hell down on whoever does. You want to demonetize me? Fine, I'll find some other platform to go on. You want to kill me? Fine. Give it your best shot. But you better be prepared to go with me if you do. You want a war because I voted one way or another? I voted some way you didn't like? You didn't vote the way I liked. Do you hear me complaining? Do you see me threatening you? You old school Democrats, I know you're out there. You better get a hold of these people, and you better damn well do it right now before they start something you can't stop. And the rest of us have to react the way we have to defend ourselves. You better get a hold of these people. And you're going to have to bring in some kind of master deprogrammer or something, because these people are nuts. I mean, there are people who've been driven literally crazy. And it is because of what they are being fed day after day after day after day for years. By the mainstream media, by Hollywood. And you people should be fucking ashamed of yourselves right now. You think you're revolutionaries? You are shit. You are the people who have caused this. Not to mention the fact that you tried to kill everybody with your virus, and then everybody that you knocked off with your vaccine. But that's another story for another day. Because I got to tell you, if you're going to follow Don Lemon or Jane Fonda off a wet deck, good fucking luck, because I'm not going to feel sorry for you. And yes, exactly right. That is exactly right, Tim. Now, this isn't Timcast, okay? I'm not one of these people who the sky is falling and there's going to be a civil war. There's going to be a civil war. Get ready for the civil war. You better stock up because there's going to be a civil war. I'm not one of those guys. And this is something else I want to talk about. Okay, I want to talk about the shills and all of these. There are extremists on both sides, I said. All right. And there are people on the right who have a very odd idea about the way that they see the world. People who claim to speak for me who don't. You know, you got the lefties who are always, well, you get your marching orders from the Koch brothers. I don't even know who the fuck the Koch brothers even are. But if they think that they get to decide what I do with my life and who I vote for, I don't give a fuck how much money you have. You better stand by. Because I'm going to tell you Republicans something. You guys on the right who have been in office for 50 years and haven't done jack shit. Like Mitch McConnell. like all the people in my state on both sides of the aisle who've been in office ever since I was a little kid and haven't done a damn thing except make things worse. The shills, the propagandists. This whole Animal Farm situation where we find out, oh, gee, holy smokes, look at that. There are people who are getting paid to give positive reviews to movies. Movies that are anti-capitalist. Animal Farm is anti-Stalin. It's got nothing to do with Trump or Elon Musk. Andy Serkis and Seth Rogen seem to think it does. And apparently, so do people like Tucker Carlson and Riley Gaines, who are like, oh yeah, go take your kids to go see this thing. No, because I'm going to tell you the same damn thing that I tell those on the left. You don't get to tell me what to do either. You are not getting money from me. And I got to tell you, I didn't have Angel Studios turning into Disney in a week on my bingo card. Sorry, I didn't see that one coming. And here's the problem, Enigma, okay? These people don't read. They don't read. No one reads anymore. You got kids out there who are being taught that they can disobey their parents, okay? They can switch genders. They can beat people in the street. They can be good little communists, but they can't even write their own names on a piece of paper. They don't read. They're not being taught to. They're being told to follow orders and disobey authority. That's what they're being taught. Break the law, it's okay. Judge will let you out. And how do we know? We're the ones who installed the judges. You better, on both sides, get a hold of these people. On the right, you better get a hold of these shills and these propagandists who switch sides like I changed my socks. You on the left, you need to get a hold of these people before they start something that they can't finish. Because there are those of us here caught in the middle who are sick of this BS. We got the Michael Jackson story out in theaters right now, and regardless of what you may think of that movie, that it says something about how life was back in those days. I grew up with Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby, say what you want about him now, #1 television show, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston. Who was the biggest sports star in the 80s? Michael Jordan. Look at all the buddy cop movies that they used to put out. 48 hours, lethal weapon. You got a white guy and you got a black guy, and they're working together. So where is all of this racism coming from? Because I didn't grow up with it. Don't look down your nose at me, Mark Ruffalo, or Tucker Carlson, and tell me I'm the foul, evil person who needs to be destroyed. You better send an army. Because, as you like to say, there's more of us than there are of you. And hello to Big Al Presents. Al will be my guest tonight on Reserved Seats at 11 p.m. Eastern. Or we're going to be a little more chill and talk about some happy things. Thomas Corey Allen, Matthew Crooks, the guy that they caught on the golf course. These people are scum and they are outliers, and they need to be treated that way. And I got no sympathy for them. They deserve whatever jail time they're going to get. The furry that killed Charlie Kirk. And I'm going to call him a furry because that's what he was. I don't get it, but that's not the point of the show right now. That kid deserves to be thrown into the deepest, darkest hole that there is and forgotten about. But I fear that they're not the only ones. And I don't trust everybody who claims to be on my side. And maybe I don't have a channel left after this show. Who knows? But I'm going to be honest with you in a way that these people won't be. I'm not calling for boycotts. Go see whatever you want. Watch whoever you want. Listen to whoever you want. I'm not going to come here and tell you good people what to do. This show is my opinion alone, and you can disagree, and people have in the past. I'm going to be here because I've decided something. I'm going to live as long as I can. And if there is somebody who comes along and tries to destroy our way of life, regardless of who that person might be or what side of the aisle they're on, I am going to be here to stick a finger in their eye. I'm good at that. The chat's been jumping. I've noticed a few statements that I wanted to bring back up. So, Depenzak says, why then during the pandemic was most or all of the homeless encampments wiped out? Yeah, that was pretty interesting, huh? Enigma says in Atlanta, when the Olympics happened in '96, that's when the airport became important. They began taking all the homeless, redistributing them because the majority were living in the airport. It also says actors are getting paid to behave and speak stupidly. This is why they never hold a civil conversation. They will lose the direct deposit. They're paid puppets to complain about whoever. Yeah. Curtis says, I remember a lot of talk about the Proud Boys, strange things. I'm friends with 3 different preppers, and none of them has ever met a Proud Boy, so where are these hateful racists? Yeah, and isn't the guy who's the founding member of the Proud Boys supposed to be Cuban? How many white supremacist outfits have you heard of that were founded by Cubans? Kind of weird, huh? When do I get some cash from the government? How long do you plan to live to be? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Yep. I've been to the Washington Hilton and that room, I think. I don't doubt it, Tim. I'd love to be really excited for their prize in the real life begins after this film's concluded. Yeah. Uh, and if they do succeed, all bets are off and it's going to become a shit show. Yeah. If it comes to that, they'd better be a good bit because I'm taking as many as I can with me. Yeah. I mean, do what you have to do to defend yourself. They're part of the problem. Yeah. FYI, Sheep Detectives was a hell of a lot more conservative than what Angel Studios has put out recently. Actually, yeah. Yeah, more about Sheep Detectives later in the week, folks, because I'm going to be talking about that film. All right. Yeah. I have said this time and again, and I think it's worth repeating. You're good people. You deserve better. You are better than what you're getting. You're better than me. You're better than the people on the right who are going to lie to you. You are better than the people on the left who wish you harm. Live your life the way you see fit. Don't start a fight, but finish one if that fight comes to your doorstep. Vote whatever way you see fit. Despite what they tell you, you are not being held back from voting. Vote with your conscience. If you're more issues oriented, vote for the people that are going to push through what you care about. But as far as like these Hollywood types, these Hollywood producers and actors, these propagandists you find on television who claim to be news journalists, these people are not better than you. They just think they are. Don't listen to them. You do you. Uh, Angel Studios did not have creative control over this movie, so far as I know. However, they still distributed it. They knew what they were getting. They knew who they were working with, and they did it anyway. And then they turned around and they made that video that was basically to screw you to all of the people who were complaining. We'll see where that goes. There may be more on that later. All right. Well, we got Geeky Geezers here in a few minutes. If you stay to the end of the broadcast, you will be automatically redirected. Please rejoin me here at 11 p.m. for reserved seats. Big Al Presents will be my guest. Thank you to everyone on Twitter. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. Thank you to everyone lurking in the background. That's perfectly all right. You don't have to engage with the chat, just as long as you enjoy the show. Hit the like, share out the stream, say hello in the comments, do all the things the algorithm likes. And of course, thank you to everyone here in the live chat. From HQ and all points, north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night, take care, stay strong, be safe and healthy, because this is how we win.
It's even not Neuronin's back, slicing through the noise with a culture attack. Pop culture, films, and the world we see. Deleted scenes where the truth runs free. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties or views to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Yeah, yeah. Steam out in your YouTube, bro, let's roll.